Gemini, let's go, okay? Because I've already done one reading for you already. We spoke about Brahma, Dharma, shock, stop clock, something's going down, but I've asked to do another reading for you, and this time they're giving me Gemini dealing with a Gemini. Bear Geminis. What the fuck does that mean? I don't even know. We're going to dig in, okay? I'm going to go straight to the Celtic on it. Oh, no. I'm going to get passed on legend, just one. Or just three. I feel like there's three Geminis all together. What on earth does that mean? That makes me feel like this isn't even just about the zodiac sign of Gemini. It's about the principle and qualities of what a Gemini means. Yeah? I want to say coven, group. Sometimes when we talk about covens and stuff like that, and this appears to be a spiritual conversation, sometimes it isn't. Because all it takes is three people to go to work together, three colleagues, three people in a relationship together, three family members, whatever it is. If they're all saying stuff, having a conversation, conjuring up thoughts and feelings and emotions, going deep in building and constructing or in combining their energy, then that's a coven. That's spirituality. That could even be spiritual warfare for the dark or light, depending on how they're going about it. This is quite alarming and concerning in the energy I'm receiving, to be honest, because I like to think that all my Geminis are being safe out there and understanding the power of energy. But after the last reading, I feel like we're on a bit of an alert system here. Let's go. Firstly, we got Amy Winehouse out. Then we got Princess Diana out. And then we've got Picasso out as well. And on top of all of that, an extra card that's come out says, Ain't I a Woman? We've got Sojourner Truth coming out. Sojourner Truth, not often recognised as a black advocate and influencer from back in the day, the slave days. And she really stood up for the women's rights coming out of the slavery era as well, standing up and making sure that she was heard. And that's what's beautiful showing up here. Not only that, we've got Picasso coming out, and Picasso's statement is, the purpose of art is washing the dust of daily life off of our souls. And it's an abstract artwork. It's called The Weeping Woman, I believe. She's crying her eyes out in a really abstract way. And it's a gorgeous, gorgeous image, because it signifies that in order to be truly creative, to truly ascend, to truly find self, you have to be willing to go into abstract places of art and creativity, be emotional, pour your heart and soul out. Not only that, we got Princess Diana coming out underneath Sojourner Truth. That talks to me about well, the quote is, only do what your heart tells you. Look at the Diana story. Do we need to carry on? I could cry when I think about the Diana story, and then I see Harry on the news yesterday. What do you think fucking Harry's going through right now? You think he's not still carrying on his mum's legacy? Do you know what burns me more than anything else? This has got to be significant for me to say this. When you think about Harry, right, I'm 34, so I'm young. I come from the Harry era, seeing him grow up, seeing him raised, seeing Diana die, seeing the whole memorial, all of that kind of stuff. What sticks with me is when Harry was walking beside his dad and William, and they were all doing the walk, and you could see his face compared to the rest. You could see in his, well, I'm clairvoyant, I can read auras, but you could see in that little boy from then and there that he knew that the institution had just killed his mother. Imagine knowing the institution has killed your mother. What did he call it? The company, or whatever him and Meghan called it on Oprah's thing. The agency, the company, whatever it was called, he knew that they had killed his mother. Imagine at that young age, knowing your mum was killed by the institution that you are a part of. And the institution that you are also a part of, they don't fucking rate you at all, because you ain't even got real rights to the throne. Because it's going to, we already knew it was going to go to Charles. And then we knew Charles was going to sit in it for a bit, and then it was going to Will. And then it's going to be going to Will for a bit, then it's going to George. We knew he already knew he was getting swerved. So imagine how they raised him in relation to how they raised Will. He was always going to be a second-rate citizen in relation to Will, because he weren't making it to the throne. So when Will's going on specific kind of excursions and trips and being taught certain ways to be the king, Harry's just on the side there. Ginger Harry to the left. No one gives a fuck. So imagine what he's carried internally, that inner child wounding, that deep psychological abuse, trauma and pain, because abuse shows up in many different ways. And we're not saying outrightly he was abused by this person or that. He's not even saying that from what I can tell. I mean, he's got a book out that's been totally leaked to the press. It's ridiculous, all the time he spent to pour his heart and soul out and to release his truth and heal from his mother's passing in one of the most tragic ways. They've actually outrightly tried to fuck up his career and leaked his book all over the place online. I've got a copy of his book on my laptop right now, totally free. Just, it showed up on Google. I think my mum sent it to me through PDF. How fucking embarrassing. You know what I mean? Right, I don't know why that's relevant, but we've had to get that out. It's such a shame. And then we just see Harry still fighting. That same little boy I see in him from that day when he was walking behind that coffin. That same little boy who was broken, who was looking at the world, looking all around him at all these people and all as they're carrying the coffin and the streets are lined with people, he's walking and he's thinking, these fuckers killed my mum and now I've got to stay here and keep doing this. Then you wonder why he rebelled in Vegas and was wearing the clothes that he was and all of the drama that he's surrounded him in his upbringing and why he's done what he's done now, why he's managed to end up with Meghan. Why he's fighting for the rights in the way in which he has. He's been done dirty for a long, long time. And he's coming back full force. For, if you want to say revenge, you can say it. Retaliation, whatever you want to call it. This is what I always have to say, right? I know child development incredibly well. And my main concern is parents, adults, you seem to forget that the children grow up. You're so naive in the now moment, thinking that this person's going through this person's going through this as adults. So do you know what? Let's just keep the kids from knowing this. So we're not going to tell the children this. We're going to shun the children. Like, you just treat children like shit sometimes and don't acknowledge how important they are for the future of humanity. And then when they wake up and get older, they remember. Kids remember everything. So you're shaping your children in any given moment by your actions and behaviours, and you think you're being smart by lying to them, denying them, punishing them, treating them badly. When they grow up, they're going to shame you, and they're going to embarrass you, and they're going to out you for all of your wrongdoing, because actually you were too ignorant to value the child in the now moment. So when they now have power in adulthood, look how long it's taken Harry to get the fucking balls to speak up. How shocking. How shocking. Gemini, no idea why we're hearing a conversation, but it's a real shame, isn't it? And then we've got Amy Winehouse here as well coming out. And her message is, they tried to make me go to rehab, but I said no, no, no. I don't even know how to take that in relation to the Diana story we just went on. Let me go in with the tarot. And I don't know why I'm sharing this with you guys today in this context. I really don't. So if you do resonate, hit the like, because it's a very different kind of context of a reading today. But yeah, there's conflict and defeat here, suffering in silence. Imagine the first card we've got coming out of the center of the conversation is suffering in silence. And what does that talk about? That talks about Harry, the Prince Harry story. So any way you can relate to the Diana story, the weeping widow Picasso artwork, or also the Amy Winehouse story, take it. Also, I don't even want to get into the Amy Winehouse story because personally it makes me upset. But how could all of us sit by? I was young as well when Amy Winehouse died. I was in my 20s. Same with Peaches Geldof. I love her to pieces. But her demise, like her death, should I say, her passing, unfortunately, wasn't as public as Amy's. How could no one step in and save Amy? We saw Amy stumbling on stage. We saw all the blood on her slippers. I speak about this all the time on my other channel. It's such a shame that in this day and age, we've got all this stuff going on. Everyone just sits around watching, mocking, writing gossip vlogs about it. Gossip blogs. But ain't no one stepping in and intervening. And when the person dies, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're dead. Let's throw a memorial. But you were killing them with your words for a long period of time. God forbid anything happen to anyone out there who's now in the public eye, who's been shunned and fucking abused. That's why I have to give so much applause and credit to Harry and Meghan, because they are refusing to go out without a fight. And if one of them passed away tomorrow, God forbid, how would everyone else act? Oh my gosh, it's such a shame this has happened. Everyone will be crying, the streets will be full of people. But at the end of the day, the media's destroying them. Right, talking about taking authority over your voice, taking authority over your lungs, talking about breathing, speaking more clearly, seeing the truth in a situation, understanding that you need to stand your ground and find your own prosperity away from dark energy, darkness, truth, lies, deceit, deception, dishonesty. It doesn't need to exist around you. Who are you and what do you stand for? That's always what I say. Should probably write that as a quote somewhere or as something, because it's who are you and what do you stand for? That's the key questions to life. When you know that, you can navigate through any terrain. Until then, you can't do fuck all really, because otherwise you're just going to be a conformist, aligning to anyone else's views and opinions. They're not going to be unique to you. Yeah? Harry knew for a very long time. I saw it in his eyes. I saw it in his demeanour. I saw it in his body language when he was walking behind the coffin with his dad and his brother. He knew from then, I know who I am. And I know who my family are. And in relation to all of this, I'm not happy about it. Yeah? I don't feel like he could probably even really grieve his mum to the full extent in which he wanted to, because he had to keep a firm face and hold it all together, because he couldn't let the institution know how disgusted he was with them for the fact that they basically killed his mum and the media killed his mum. It's not even about the media killing his mum. We know what really happened. We know what really happened. I'm not going to go into it because I still live in the United Kingdom and I respect the monarchy. I respect everyone. I understand how the world works, fair enough. There's systems and institutions in place for a reason. But at the end of the day, call a fucking spade, please. And I'm going to leave it there. And wherever you find yourself on the Prince Harry journey and the Prince Harry story, you allow yourself to be whatever character it is in that. Yeah? Even I want to speak about Camilla, for example. Look at where Camilla's at now. And look how Camilla was viewed back in the day. She was the side bitch. The side chick. Let's be real. Yeah? The side piece. Camilla was the side piece. Now she's the wife. Look how long ago how many images and footage we saw of Diana crying her eyes out because of Camilla. Yeah, and the simple fact is, let's be real. Diana was pretty much groomed into that position because she was the perfect spouse. He didn't really want her. We knew that. She knew that. She was always the side piece, the second. Imagine all the stuff that Harry heard on the low. Through the agency, through the catering staff, through the teams walking around, everyone bitching and gossiping within the palace. But no one wants to bring the truth to the forefront. He knew. He can Google, he can research, he can read. So you wonder why things turn out the way in which they do in this lifetime. Because of situations like this. Such a shame. So don't be the latter. Don't be the one that falls to the wayside and ignores the young and ignores the children and ignores the obvious. Deal with the issue. In line with your morals and integrity, you know? And if you don't have any, then it speaks for itself. And I don't even know why I'm coming at Gemini like this, because it's not about this, but it is about 3 individuals aligned to a Gemini at this time. Gemini, whatever the concept of Gemini really, really means for all of you out there, it's unique. But it's the concepts of self, yeah? In my head, I'm getting Gemini Coven. And I don't even feel like it's a coven. I feel like it's a corporate group. I feel like it's a company. And either way, they're behaving in a way which is Gemini inspired, infused, which can be very dark and malicious and evil at times. And I don't really care about the ideologies of, we have to run the kingdom and keep the rest of the world safe, so we have to do this. I understand that the government have to lie to the public on a frequent basis to protect us, because the world would be in uproar if we really, really knew what was going on. But the truth of the matter is, there's got to be a fine line where we're chatting shit to the wider world, expecting them not to wake up and see the truth. Yeah? End of.